second. I need to do something. What is going on here? Hello. 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 Apparently, something. All right. You should be getting me from the camera microphone so that I can talk to you. It will be low because my microphone is not working for some reason. Hello, hello. 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 Something very weird going on. What's going on here? Oh, let's see. Let's not do that. Create an echo. Hello. That is very weird. Hello. You're hearing me through the camera microphone, which is weird. It's the only mic that's working. This mic's not working. This mic is not working. This mic? Mic. Hello? 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 Can we hear me? Hello? Hello? Ah, there we go. I can hear me. Can you hear me? Let's turn off the second microphone so there isn't an echo. Okay. Hello, 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 hello. Yes, hello, everybody. It wouldn't be a starting of the work week if there weren't problems. All right. Let's try this again. Hello? Hello? I'm just getting the mic's hello volume right. So now I can hear me and you can hear me. So this is good. Thank you very much for becoming a member, Hector. It's much appreciated. All right, so let's go back to the beginning. No, this isn't a retired military suit. It is a custom-made jacket. It is a safari suit with a Chinese collar. That's basically it. So, it looks very military because safari suits with the basis of most, well, it was based off of military stuff. So that's why it looks like it's military. If you think of safari suit, that would be scouts' uniforms are safari suits, basically. Alright, 3 a.m. Yep, well, it's 10 a.m. for me, so there's that. We have some background music. I don't use a Bluetooth mic. It is an actual mic. There's the connection right there. Goes through an amp. So, all professional like. Right, it's good to see everyone. Good to see everyone. Well, I don't know why Streamer would clap to sync anything. You clap when you want to sync video that you're editing. Right. I think me. I think I bumped the volume control on the microphone. So that was a bit odd. Also bumped the direct feed so I couldn't hear myself talking. Kind of, yeah. I mean, safari suits are very common in South Africa. So, also in India, strangely enough. So if you've seen an Indian military uniform, it's based off of the same thing. And then just general people wear safari suits in South Africa. Mostly out in the Platteland, but you know, it exists. My school uniform for primary school was a modified safari suit, and you see them all over the place, mostly in hot places. We got the real deal today. We've got the full recording setup. We've got water, we've got coffee. Actually, no coffee, I forgot to make it. 2 monsters, 2 waters, and a coffee at some point. I am thinking of getting this remade. It's awfully tight, especially around the shoulders. So, I mean, if I stretch out, it goes up to my forearm. And this was custom made, so obviously something went wrong. Well, it should be any form of tea based off the uniform. Anyways, I'm going to go make a cup of coffee, since I forgot to do that. So you get the Be Right Back squirrel. There we go, back soon. And then you'll also get some chill music. Give me 2 minutes. I boiled the kettle, just forgot to make the coffee. Alrighty, I'm back with coffee. Exciting stuff. So we've got a full loadout for a day of recording. Well, I'm probably only going to record one story. What did I miss? No, I'm doing okay. I think I'm good enough to start recording just one story a day, and we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I try not to keep too much stuff in here. I say that while my desk is a bit of a mess at the moment. Good evening, Iraq. I hope you're doing well. Well, I mean, cleared of medical. That's great. I'm doing fine. I think the voice is close to recordable. I just need to work on stamina. On my side, it's coming through as maxed volume. I'm peaking, in fact. So I don't know about that. Is there still static coming through? Zoromo, I'm feeling great. Good enough to record a story. That's what we're here for. So, a lot of you probably wouldn't be part of the streams that I have been doing, because that was quite a bit later. I decided to stream the creation process of stories. So, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. We're going to read a story. It's going to be disjointed. It's going to be mistakes. It's going to be all of that stuff. And then it'll be edited into a story. So if you don't want to hear the unedited me stuttering and humming and hawing, then you probably want to skip this and just watch the video, which should be out tonight. Christian C, thank you very much for becoming a member. It's very much appreciated. Well, it's very much appreciated. I'm glad that I'm able to steal a customer away from Audible. Alright. I shouldn't be peaking. I have lowered the mic volume a little bit. So this was going to be a bit strange. I've never done this particular type of stream before. So we'll see how this goes. Once I start recording the video, I probably won't respond to chat too much. But, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I think it's time for a little bit of coffee. I had a very specific idea in mind. This isn't it, but this is close to what I wanted. I wanted more of a cyberpunky thing, but, you know, a tailor can only do so much. Good night, Chris de la Cruz. I hope you sleep well. Not a problem, Hector. Whether you're a member on this channel or that channel, it's all good. Much appreciated, Brian. So, going forward, I'm going to be streaming at this time every day, except Saturdays. Because Saturdays is my... Give me a second. I've got visual feedback on my side, so I'm not sure what's happening, Iraq. I've got both visual on Twitch and on YouTube. So for those you don't know, I do have a Twitch channel. It is listed in the description. No, it's not. I didn't put it there. Excuse me. So yeah, 10 o'clock is normally when I start. I normally try to get some exercise in and warm-ups and stuff. But the other thing is I wake up and I drink 2 liters of water. So I've done that. And now I'll be drinking more water. So if I have to go pee, which is almost certain, I'm going to have to do it a couple of times. It's one of the things people don't talk about when you try to keep your voice hydrated perfectly. Fair enough, James. Fair enough. I do understand this is a weird time zone. Maybe I'll make it a bit later. I'm just doing my normal recording schedule, so this is when I'd normally start recording. But depending on feedback, I might move it a bit later. But I try to get the voice work out as soon as possible so that the voice is in peak condition. The later in the day it is, the more wear it is on the voice. Not too much, but still a bit. We were playing the same song over and over. Yeah. I suppose the only thing would be to move it to 3 hours ahead, so it's 6 o'clock, 4 hours ahead. That would be 2 o'clock in the afternoon for me. Oh, we might be able to do that. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, the video will still be out tonight. Yeah. I do need to move the camera. Not move the camera. Flip screen back. As you can see, this green screen is going to stay here the whole time because it'll get edited out during the editing process. Unfortunately, Broadcast, which was doing the cutting out the background, just crashes randomly. Of course you can. Well, I mean, the VOD will always be here, so you can watch the creation process from the beginning if you really want. But the edited work will be here normal time. Iraq, I don't know what's happening. I haven't changed any settings since this beginning. Right. Greg Swartz, I am in South Africa, so yes, it's easy to find honey. But I'm diabetic, so I don't take honey. So when I asked a professional, he said honey may do something. Tea doesn't do anything really. So Iraq, I think you're 10 minutes behind, or 5 minutes behind. That's odd. Very odd. Yeah, that's fine. Look, I mean, it helps marginally. But I've got my physio, and I've got staying hydrated. And if push comes to shove, I can take an anti-inflammatory. I'm feeling well, Gene. I'm getting there. Twitch channel, that's what I was doing. I was copying the Twitch channel. So I am streaming on Twitch and on YouTube. I do have affiliate status on Twitch, so I can earn some money there now. So that's a good thing. And it is listed in the description. So if you're so inclined and would prefer to watch me on Twitch, there you go. If you have any of those Amazon free subscription thingamabobbies, I can now get those if you want to give them. or bits or adverts. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm mostly on a low GI diet. So, I mean, it's everything just in moderation. Wolf Act? Wolf Act? I am glad that I introduced you to the wonders of audiobooks. Yeah, I mean, the GI diet is one that they've recommended for diabetes all the time. So I'm only a type 2. I'm not very bad one. So I take medication, and then I just watch what I eat. So, I mean, sugar-free stuff, which is this monster here. There's no sugar in anything that I eat or drink, unless it's part of it. Zoromir, there's two ways. One, I either search for popular stories and ask the author, or the other way is people message me and give me permission to do their stories. Yeah, human body is a very weird thing. But I think there's still problems with the artificial sugars. But sure, anything without sugar tastes crap. It's probably what led me to diabetes in the first place. Thought has crossed my mind, but don't know. It's never materialized. If I did do something like that, I'd probably create a second or another channel, and everybody would just be like a troupe, an acting troupe sort of thing. Right, so the plan. Shall we go with the plan? 1, head over to Twitch, follow me there if you're so inclined. 2, like the stream, because that does stuff. 3, we are recording a story for tonight. If you do not like the making of or being spoiled, then you probably don't watch the stream. James, go look for Emily. Emily does it. An English lady. She started recently, well, last year, I think. So she does narrate stories. And real person, not TTS. I think it's Amy's. Amy, not Emily. Amy. Amy's something corner. Right. So let's. I speak a little bit of Afrikaans, but that's just a touch, teeny tiny, little bitty Afrikaans. Okay, so here we are. We got the small me, and we've got the story. Here we go. So I'm starting using a new method called I have no idea what the hell it's called. So I've cataloged my voices, which I've never done before because my voices were inconsistent until the surgery. Good evening, or afternoon, old habits. Happy Egg Week, definitely. Cheers, Christian C. Much appreciated for popping past and saying hi. Anyway, so I don't remember what I was saying. Right, so I've picked out the story to read for tonight. I've now catalogued my voices, which I didn't really do before because they were inconsistent, which in theory they will not be now. So I've got a catalogue of voices, about 20 of them, that I can insert to a story. So I'm not going to go through the process that I picked this with, which is basically looking at the time of the story, the length of the story, plus, if the author is giving me permission, which Captain Candy has. Beard, moustache. Leighton, my medical donut will be happening tomorrow. Tomorrow is my wedding anniversary. Yes, April Fool's Day is my wedding anniversary. And for anybody interested, this is why you do not ask your husband, or husband-to-be at the time, when they want to get married. Because I chose April 1st. And she had to go with it, because she said pick any day and we'll get married on that day. And I said April 1st. So there we go. For wedding cake, on our wedding day, we had donuts. So as an anniversary thing, we have medicinal donuts every wedding anniversary. Good evening, RVB. We're getting back into the swing of working. Thank you, Greg. Thank you. I'm surprised she hasn't killed me. I would have killed me, but we've made it through. Made it through some hard times, and now we're at the better times. And medicinal donuts. So, there's that. Right. So, human engineers. We're going to be... I don't know. I'm going to have to buy another screen. I don't have enough screens. So we're not doing teleprompter today because of the stream. So with the wedding anniversary being the 1st of April, for like 6 months beforehand, I screwed with my mother. I'd be like, no, we're getting married on the 1st of April. She'd be like, really? I'm like, nah, I'm joking. It's just an April Fool's joke. And then the next day I'd be like, nah, we're getting married on the 1st of April. And then she'd be like, okay. And then the next day I'd be like, no, I was joking. It's just a April Fool's joke. So for 6 months, I just constantly told her that it was and wasn't our wedding day. Just to screw with her. She was a good sport about it. Yes, but this is a working day for me. RVB, so I start work at 10. This is recording work, not like pre-work stuff. So I decided to start streaming my working process. Maybe make it a thing if it is popular enough. Good evening. Well, evening. Good morning, DeSoda. Hope you're doing well. Aran, welcome. Okay, so we have a catalog of 20 voices. What I'm going to do is I have given the story a brief read beforehand, so we are going to go and assign voices to the stuff, so that when I'm reading it, I know which voice to use, in theory. Normally, I just wing it. Well, congratulations, Brian. 11 years is a long time. Me and the wife have been together for 14 years? Something like that. I'd have to ask her. I have no idea. Right, voices. Not the ones in my head, the ones here. Right. We're just gonna minimize this so I can still see chat. Right, so because I have vaguely read the story before, I know that it's a lecture, and with lectures I like to do old man voice. So that's going to be M2, male voice 2, which is old man voice. This one's going to be M1, which is my normal narration voice. These are going to be M3, which is pompous English. M4, which is a bit of a snivelly voice. BPL text voice. I don't know. Look, I still don't know the full range of my voice because I'm still doing physio. So, yeah, we'll only know once the physio has calmed down my full range. But the range is definitely a lot better. That sounds like it was eventful, although I suppose it depends on what sort of event it is. Oh, it was eventful. I mean, sometimes that's good, as long as nobody was hurt. Well, dead. I have not. I will make a mental note to check it. Maybe. And what is that? There we go. I did a search so that I can forget it extra. Okay, so we're on voice number 4. Oh, that's not what I want. So M is male voice, F is female voice, and C is child voice. Da-da-da-da. So we got pompous English, snivelly voice. We'll go with Cockney. Cockney as in Cockney. And 5. M7. M7 is villain with pronounced T. Now, about the same amount of voices as the normal story. M1, I just don't think most people notice it. Right, and then we're back to M2. M2. This is all the lecturer. Okay, there we go. And that will be end of story. Right, so this small 10-minute story is already going to use 6 voices. 1 extensively and 3 not so extensively. So that's the way it is. Now for recording purposes, we'll head back to this. So you won't be able to read along, unfortunately. Because I can't stream one setup and record another. Maybe I can. OBS. Can we run 2 versions of OBS? Launch anyway. We can. So, right. That is actually pretty cool. Just give me a second. I'm just trying to see if I can do this in 2 places. With streaming. Unless it's affecting that. No. Huh. I'll figure this out for tomorrow. Running 2 instances of the streaming software seems to make things work a bit weird. Right, so we've got the voices done. I do really wish I could have the tech stuff, but that'll be a tomorrow problem. Or after stream problem. We'll figure that out. Although this is supposed to be my work day. It's a bit complicated. We do need to edit all the stories so that the intro and outro are removed. Then I need to upload it to the server, make sure that I have enough space, and then hopefully it'll be added into the random playlist. So there is that. It is something that I've been meaning to do for a while, but when you realize that it's over 1,000 stories that I have to edit to remove the intro and outro, kind of gets a bit daunting, and you're like, not now. And that not now just keeps happening. Okay. So, shall we try this recording? We'll record for a little bit. Yes. We are going to have to turn off the music, though. As soon as I figure out how to do that. So, this is going to be a bit strange. I'm going to record it like I record a video. So, there'll be an intro. There'll be stuff, things. And like I said, we're not using the teleprompter today because stuff and things. Right. I think we're ready. I just need to open up my audio recording software so that we can start. We are recording to hard drive. We're recording to audio. Right. Are we all ready? And away we go. Greetings, ladies and gents, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space, where I take stories from across the internet and read them for your entertainment. This particular story is called Human Engineers, written by Captain Candy. Good morning, class. Welcome back to Human Studies 105. Today, we'll be taking a look at one of the most well-known and feared types of humans. Today, we will be looking at the category of humans known as engineers. Before I start, does anyone have specific questions related to human engineers? A few hands, tentacles, and other appendages go up as the question is asked, and the teacher nods her head each one. A few hands and tentacles and other appendages go up and A few hands, tentacles, and other appendages go up as the question is asked, and the teacher nods her head to each one. Is it true that a single human engineer can make an entire battleship without external help? Are space engineers real? Are the human games like Factorio and Deep Rock Galactic played by Spifflemonk based on real human abilities? What is 7? Sorry, forgot. 777. Villain pronounced with a T. Okay. Why are human engineers so dangerous? Hearing all the questions roll in, the teacher nods her head again, and then puts up a paw for her own... Hearing all of the questions roll in, the teacher nods her head again, and then puts up a paw of her own to silence the now chatty class. All of these questions will be answered quickly as I give information that was already planned today. I was hoping for something a bit more niche, but oh well. Now then, on to the lesson. Firstly, there are several types of human engineers, at least when they start out. There are electrical engineers, structural engineers, ship engineers, city engineers, and many, many more. These, however, are simply just the profession of specialization an engineer chooses early in their life. Later on, all human engineers eventually become general engineers who can do almost all of this. Yes, I should probably... Actually, it doesn't matter. It's fine. So, I've got audio software recording the audio, and it's only recording the microphone audio, so it's not recording the desktop audio. So you're hearing the background music, and it's not being recorded with my audio software. So, there it is. My editor / wife, probably wife / editor, was the wife before the editor, can still sync up the story using the two mic sounds, and then just on the final video use the audio software one. So, I mean, if you guys are finding the background music a bit too distracting, let me know. I can stop it. But it was so in the background that I didn't even notice it was still running. So, there we go. So, let's move on. Most human engineers, by the age of 28, can do everything from properly planning, designing, and executing simple yard work, all the way up to building a space elevator, or even bioengineering an entirely new ecosystem for their needs. There are many reasons this ends up happening, but the end result is always a human engineer with abilities bordering on magic. Now, the types of engineers we'll focus on are thus: the bored engineer, the overly happy engineer, and the content engineer. A bored engineer is a thing of sheer and utter terror. When most species get bored, they'll find entertainment such as television, or going out and exploring. Maybe just a simple day at the mall or beach. A bored human engineer will start to think, plan, or, void forbid, tinker. Do not, under any circumstances, let a human engineer tinker on a personal project. Do not, under any circumstances, let a human engineer tinker on a personal passion project they started when bored. Also, sorry, just had a bit of a with the voice. Do not, under any circumstances, let a human engineer tinker on a personal passion project they started when bored. More so, keep in mind to also constantly monitor a human engineer with intervals no longer than a single human hour. If a bored engineer gets to tinkering phase, it is already too late. And in most cases, whatever they are constructing must be finished, or it'll blow up. If a human engineer completes its tinkering and starts laughing, smiling, or silently planting whatever thing they have made, evacuate the ship, station, or colony that you're in. This would mean that the engineer has gone to the second step, the overly happy engineer. If they have reached this stage, you should be running as fast as possible away from the human. If running is not an option, the council would recommend prayer. An overly happy engineer has made a working device with an unknown function which is, most likely, a direct danger to the lives of... A direct danger to the lives of everything in a kilometer's radius. This is where their early life specialization comes into play. Whatever they specialized in early on is most entertaining to them. If it is a structural engineer with a small object, the risk is minimal and may well be something to revolutionize material science. However, if it is a nuclear, anti-material, or bioengineer, even if you are on a planetary body, urge everyone on it, or otherwise. Urge everyone on it, human or otherwise, to evacuate. Now then, the content engineer is the one you want. Always. They are a well-fed, entertained engineer with as much work as they could desire to keep their hands busy. If these conditions are all met, a human engineer will work with an efficiency 3 to 9 times that of most other species. Each one is a little different, and thus the desired workload, entertainment medium, and diet should be asked of them. And diet should be asked from the engineer directly. Now then, on to the next part of the lesson. Every human engineer has things on their person at all times. Firstly, a nanomachine factory and storage facility embedded into their bodies. Secondly, is a neural implant allowing for control over these nanomachines. Third, and finally, a human in general, but definitely an engineer will always have a weapon. Let's look at each of these in more detail. The nanoforge storage facility. The nanoforge/storage facility will allow the human engineers to do any work they deem necessary and acts as the mother of all multi-tools. This means if a human were to crash land on the planet and be the sole survivor, yes, they could build a whole factory to eventually manufacture parts to escape from their planet. This means that, yes, a single human with the resources could easily make a battleship single-handedly. Finally, yes, a human by itself could easily go on a mining expeditions and exterminate hordes of invasive or even native insectoid hives in the search for valuable materials. The neural implant is a critical part of what makes this all possible. It is wired directly into almost every part of a human brain and helps them in many ways. First and foremost is the fact that they can control their nanomachines like they are an extension of their body, because for all intents and purposes, they are. Secondly, it allows them to design, plan, and understand how to execute an engineering project they may wish to conduct. It also means that they can augment their bodies to unheard of levels, making things like space engineer distinctly possible. Finally, the humans will always have a weapon on their person. Do not try to remove or take a weapon, as they will result in you, the people around you, and most likely the surrounding kilometer to evaporate. Human weapons are downright unholy in their destructive capacity, and that's for a normal, run-of-the-mill human. A human engineer, much like a human soldier, will augment, alter, and improve their weapon. A human engineer with a sword should be feared like a demon god has descended. It may well be a fifth-dimensional sword that can cube time like a herbivore dicing vegetables for breakfast. A human engineer. A human engineer with a gun? No. If they have a handheld pistol-type weapon, you're under least danger, but still a single shot from one will launch a projectile at 5% C at low settings. A human engineer with a gun? No. If they have a handheld pistol-type weapon, you are in least danger, but still a single shot from one will launch a projectile at 5% C at the low setting. Do not threaten engineers. Do not be deceived. Do not be deceived by looks either. The simpler the human weapon looks, the more likely. The simpler the human weapon looks, likely the more dangerous and horrifying it is. If it looks like a human toy of some sort, it can probably collapse local space-time into an inverted singularity. The more complex it looks, the more likely it is to simply fail or misfire. If you're lucky, it just fails and nothing happens. So you get to see human get into a fist fight. If you're unlucky, it misfires and will kill everything on that grid section of the galactic map. A full light year of space dead in an instant. This is why human engineers are so dangerous. Now then, it's 2 minutes to the buzzer, so we'll end this class early today. As homework, I want you all to write paper. As homework, I want you all to write a paper on how you think best to keep a human engineer content. Bzzzt. End of story. Right. That's... and move to here. So yeah, by tomorrow I will figure out how to do this properly, so that I can have the words up on the screen for you guys. The Captain No Name, you must realize that I've done over 3,000 videos, probably close to 1,500 hours to 2,000 hours of narrations. So lots and lots of practice. Also, it depends. Some days I'm shockingly bad. I mean, it goes downhill. So it's also based off of concentration. So if we're concentrating on stuff, the longer you concentrate, the worse it gets. So first story is normally like the best, or normally it's the second story that's the best. First story is kind of like kicking my mind into gear. And then the second story would be peak concentration. And then it just goes down from there. So that was one story. Well, thank you for the kind words, Brian. Sorry, I was just recording ambient background noise. So one of the things we, as in narrators, I suppose, or editors, So we record the ambient background noise without talking, and then it runs an algorithm to remove the ambient background noise from the recording. So I do the basic video audio editing, so the normalizing, amplification, noise removal, stuff like that. Then my wife will take that finished file, chop it up into a video, and yes, sorry for the bings. Stop it. Just give me a second. Just turn the desktop audio off for a second. And just and away we go. Yeah, that was just the recording. For some reason it's playing through my speakers instead of my headphones. Right. We can turn the ambient music back on. Or turn that back on. So now the desktop audio is back. Now all the bings are finished. So yeah, I've done the basic noise removal, normalizing. And then this will get passed along to my wife to do the scrolling text, cut out all the bad parts, do the transitions, add the background, remove the green screen, all that stuff. So yeah, that was one story. Normally I'll do about 5 in a day, 6, depends on the length. What am I doing? Oh, I'm trying to get the name of the story to save the file. Save. Thank you, Culinary Cal. I'm glad you enjoyed. That's one story. How's my voice going to handle another? Shall we try another chat? You want to hear another one? Oh yeah, James. Oh yeah, definitely. It's a full-time job for 2 people. I mean, people think scrolling text is easy. It's not, because sentences have different cadences. So you can't just use like a constant scrolling text. So she sits and like every 30 seconds adjusts where the story is related to the video, and then the scrolling text. So it takes up quite a bit of time. All in all, I would say probably from beginning to end, a 10-minute story is 2-3 hours of work. And there shouldn't be any ramifications, because this is going to be edited, chopped up, and posted. So this is my normal working day. So 30 people will have heard the story, and it's not going to have ambient music, and it's going to have mistakes and pauses and stuff like that. And what else? Hums and haws and stuff. The edited product will be released tonight, so I'm sure it's not going to interfere. Yes, Easter Sunday. Not that I am particularly religious. It's just chocolate. Good chocolate. Right, next story. This one I haven't pre-read because I wasn't really expecting. Oh, wait. No, there is a second story I'm talking about. So that story I read was probably a 8-minute story. So we will do another one. So that it is a 10-minute story. I think anything less than 10 minutes is a bit short. So normally 10 minutes is my upper limit, well, lower limit. Okay. So tonight's one's going to be 2 stories and 400. So that would be I wouldn't say technical story. It is that was a medium strained story because I was using a specific voice throughout the whole thing. I find that weighs a bit more on the voice than just chopping between voices. Where are we? Here we are. So let's give this a quick read. Good evening, Deuce Salt. I hope you're doing well. And then there's also people that will watch both. That's also a thing. Thank you, Deuce Salt. Much appreciated. Okay. So, The Nod, written by Hansen. Okay, so that's going to be male 1. This will be male 2. This is male 1. This is probably the most boring part. Okay, I earned a Twitch achievement. I have no idea what the hell that means. No, I haven't. It was somebody chatting. Okay, I get this through Restream.io, so I see a combined chat. So, also I'm not used to Twitch, so... No, I didn't. Somebody just sent a message about an achievement. Right. I'm not trying to forget you, chat. I am just trying to figure out which voices are going to which sentences. So that's M1 as well. M1. Okay, and that one is M3. Back to M1. M1 again. Fair enough, Talk 1187. I can understand that. As far as I understand, Twitch is still a better platform for streaming, but most of my audience is on YouTube, so I'll just continue to dual stream, and then people who want to watch on whatever platform can just watch on whatever platform. So this is still M3. M1. Ah, that makes sense, cough syrup. That definitely makes sense. That it is. That's why I'll just normally go with like a random one. But we'll read through, see if it gives me a gender or any indication. And if not, I'll just use a random voice. I normally do like a week's worth of recording for a series on one day. It means the audio is consistent through the whole week. If you do it every single day, then the audio does be a bit more is a bit more choppy because ambient background is a bit different. So I try to keep everything similar. Thank you for the gifted membership, Brian Wells. It's much appreciated. Back to M1. No, that's not M3. That is whatever that is. That is M1. That goes back to whatever it is. And this is M1. This is M3. Don't know. It's a difficult question. I like different series for different things. I really enjoyed Mother of Learning. It was an interesting story. It's one of the first ones I did. Dungeon Life was pretty cool because it's nice and chill. Epic Loot's also pretty cool. Silverthorn, I have read Princess of Mars on the channel. It wasn't really well received. The old school D&D novels would still be under copyright, so I couldn't read them on stream. M1. M1. Remember, the copyright is quite long. I'm still getting static. It's odd. Don't know which ones of his are under public domain. I'd have to check. So the thing with like public domain novels, public domain stories is everybody's done it. It's a million versions of it. So mine wouldn't do that well, I think. Okay, so we got a third voice, gruff voice. We'll go with old man voice for that one, which is M2. M1. Good morning, F-Up. Hope you're doing well. And Litmain, hope you're doing well. It's all about timing. I think 80 years. I mean, it could be 1920s now. I'd have to check. I think it's 80 years is the copyright. I'm doing as well as I can, F-Up. Doing as well as I can. That is M1. That is M1. This is M2. This is the vendor. 95 years, yeah. So that would be the 1909? No? Maths, hard. That's why I'm a narrator. M1. The other problem is there's a set amount of narrating I can do in a day. Do I narrate a novel that's in public domain that may not do well, or do I narrate a short story that is going to do well? Never math on stream, yes. Especially if I can't hold up my fingers to count. Yes, we're talking about copyright. M1. M1. M3. M1. M3. Ah, 1. Seriously? Old Anza? Okay. M3. M1. M1 into an M3. Still have no idea who the talker is. We've got no descriptors, so we'll just use, I think, let's have a look-see. M3 is pompous. I think we'll do villain pronounced CM7 for the normal one. Right. M7. Yeah. M2 is old man voice. So I use a very sparingly. Well, I use it when it's appropriate. Old man voice I was using in the last story. So it's not appropriate in every situation. Good evening. I hope you have sleep well, F-Up. And yeah, this will be released as a proper video tonight. For my tonight, your afternoon. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Yeah, but they're not real female voices. So it's just slightly higher pitched my voice. Out of the 20 voices that I've got on my catalog, 17 are male, 2 are female, and 1 is a child voice. Child voice is new, so I'm going to use that sparingly. And as my physio and range settle, we can figure out more voices. But then again, not all voices are appropriate in all situations. So, like the sniveling coward voice would not be great in this story. Not normally Silverthorn. I normally just use my normal voice. Well, one of the things is a tip is when you say the word smile, smile yourself, because people can hear when you smile as opposed to not smile. So if you say smile while smiling, it sounds more natural. Oh, missed one. That's M3. M7. But yes, so voice and the personality are two different things. So I do try to... There's no such thing as a happy voice. It's just a voice that you use happy. So it's a voice that's excited or happy or not excited. Anything like that. It's the cadence you use plus the volume. So all of these voices could be happy voices, or they could be sad voices. But like the snivelly coward voice is a different way of talking in my mouth, like physically different. That's why I have it listed there. As a snivelly, it means something to me, and that is the main thing. So a voice is just a physical thing, if that makes sense. And then emotions in the voice are related to the story. So all the voices, the 20 voices, are physically different to each other, and how I produce them to make them sound different. And then you can be happy with that voice, or sad with that voice, angry with that voice. Okay, I think we're ready to record. Recording software, recording that, going back to this. By tomorrow, I'll figure out how to put scrolling text, live scrolling text here for you guys and gals, ladies and gents, all that stuff. Right. Story number 2. The Nod, written by Hansen III. Yet again he nodded his head, and again the other human responded in kind. What? I asked. he grunted, too preoccupied with the various items on sale on the street where he was still strolling through. Too preoccupied with the various items on sale in the street we were strolling through. Even though it was less than legal market, it was still packed with customers and various... I've got a word cut off here, so sorry about that. There we go. Even though it was a less than legal market, it was still packed with customers and vendors selling everything from guns to toasters. What did you agree to? He picked up a particularly scarred helmet. 3 large gashes in its beige surface exposed the inner protective filler. To what? To what? He asked, as he promptly put very carefully... To what? He asked, as he promptly put... Thank you, Victor Denisov. Much appreciated. To what? He asked, as he promptly but very carefully placed it back, after looking at the price tag. That was a concerning answer. Very much so. You don't even know what you agreed to. Isn't that bad practice for bounty hunters? I would agree if I had accepted anything this past minute. Well, you did. You just nodded at that other guy back there. I looked at the bump on his head. It was a miracle that he was still alive after this morning's maintenance. You should, I said as I tapped against his skull. That doesn't really make much sense, I don't think. You should, I said as I tapped against his skull. Get this checked. That wrench probably did more damage than just a scratch. As soon as I touched the bump, he swatted my hand, quite forcefully. Stop that! I told you that hurts. He handed me a kinetic weapon from one of the displays. Again, he nodded at the human seller, and he nodded back. Sorry. Excuse me. It was a heavy piece of junk. It was a heavy piece of junk. It was barely worth more than the paper. The price was... It was a heavy piece of junk. It was barely worth more than the paper the price tag was printed on. You mean like that? That can mean I agree, but oh man doesn't mean so much more. It is almost universal. He held up his 4 fingers on his right hand and counted them off. Oh, that's M3, not M7. You mean like that? That can mean I agree, but oh man doesn't mean so much more. It is almost universal. He held up 4 fingers. He held up his 4 remaining fingers on his right hand and counted them off. It can also mean, hey, I agree, go ahead, or I acknowledge you, for example. Wait, I acknowledge you, isn't that the same as hey? The vendor chuckled, answering for one with a gruff voice. Well, no, it's not the same. Hey is reserved for a seemingly friendly people, like people you talked to at least once before, but don't know that well. Whereas... I handed a weapon back to Juan. I was too distracted by the humanisms going on before me. Okay, I interrupted, but how do you tell if a nod is a hey or I acknowledge you? Is there an official guide? Did you guys learn the nuances at school? The vendor stroked his greasy beard and looked up at nothing. Never really thought about it. I guess it's just instinct. Before I got another word in, Juan yet again, to my frustration, only nodded at the vendor before walking away from the shop. And as we walked past another human, making her way down the market, I made contact and nodded at her. She gave me a very puzzled look, long looking at me after I walked past. That was an awkward nod. I heard Juan chuckle. At this point, I was a little aggravated. My voice slipped into a half scream. Yeah, and? Oh, that's reserved for friends or people you're interested in. After having a short thought, a little embarrassed, I nodded downwards once. A smile erupted across Juan's face. Ah, now you're getting the hang of it. End of story. There we go. That is tonight's video completed. Just turn this off while I do the bingity noises. Not blow anybody's eardrums out. Judging by how my voice is acting, and that is all the narration we'll be doing for the day. The voice has lodged a complaint with the HR and has asked for the rest of the day off. Can't blame it. Good evening, well, afternoon, Black Cannon. Hope you're doing well. Right. So I think we can go with nice background. We can close this. We can close that. We can stop recording, but we'll still stream. There we go. Got stuff and things happening. Now the audio is back. Read that. Leave that open. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, it's been 2 hours, an hour and a half. That has put more strain on my voice than a 3-hour stream, just for comparison's sake. What are we doing? Broadcast. Yeah, the voice is a bit rough today. But we got to put it through its paces so that it can recover. I'm definitely going to try, Mark. Every day is a new day. Every day the voice gets a bit stronger. Okay. So the thing that was removing the background has now just crashed completely. Just not working at all. The Captain No Name, it is a safari suit with a Chinese collar. So let me do a thing. A long sleeve safari suit. Let's go with you and you. Okay, so this is a safari suit. This is all weird colors. Traditional color for a safari suit is khaki, which is this brownish color here. And these are all fashionista type stuff. So I had one of these made for myself, very similar to this one, which you can't see because it's behind my head. This one, can't see my mouse. All right, so this one here is a pretty stock standard safari suit. Click. No. Show me. But instead of a normal collar, we've got a Chinese collar, which is just goes up. It's a 2-inch collar. And that's what it is. There's nothing too much more complicated about it. It's very unique. But safari suits are very common in South Africa, India, Australia. Yeah. So there are ways to get background stuff out. But that's done in post-editing rather than live editing. So, yeah. Now we have separate workstations. Pretty much. So it's what the British made for a suit in hot climates, is essentially what it is. So Mark, first thing we're going to do is we're going to start TFOS again. Once we're recording TFOS on a regular basis and the voice is handing up, we'll do TFOS and re-TFOS, which is recording the older TFOS to modern standards. And then once we've got that done, we'll start with Survivor's Dungeon, because that was half finished, and then we'll take it from there. Yeah, so that's why I went with the more militaristic one. You'll see with like a normal safari suit doesn't have these. They have a name, I can't remember the name. So I had them add that in. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and a shoulder pocket as well. But other than that, it's pretty standard. I think they're all basically the same design. Let's go with old safari suit. Does have another name, I just can't remember the name. South Africa, it's called a safari suit. Epaulets, yeah, that's right. So, yeah, I mean, I did give it a bit more of a militaristic thing because I was going to be using it in the sci-fi. I even have a patch over here. Let's just go with this one. So I don't really see. So I got a patch here of Velcro. I was going to put a name tag here, and I got a patch on my other shoulder somewhere. Do I? No, I don't. Yeah. Well, we got pockets and stuff, which is on a normal one. So, I mean, the base was a safari suit with a Chinese collar. It's a really old school one. So this one here is the classic safari suit. Now, safari suits almost always short sleeve. I had to make it long sleeve, which I regret, because it pulls back every time. So yeah, and that's the story of the suit. Although I am going to get a new one made. This one was made at a cheap tailor, which is not to say that it is cheap, but it is not great. So I might change the colors up a bit, maybe go with black and red, or also the color brown is because of khaki, and because brown is on the opposite end of the spectrum to green, so it would stick out against the green background. Now you can also, I mean, when I was in Scouts, in Cubs, we used to put our hats here. Our, whatever hat we happened to be wearing, we'd just put it here when we weren't using it. I don't know whether it's a common thing, but that is what it is. Flag cannon, I've looked into it. I haven't really found a place that will sell them nicely. I mean, I can get them sourced locally, but then shipping is massively expensive. So until I find some place that can ship to England and America, or be made in England and America, there won't be patches. I mean, people have asked for them, but it's just going to be a while. Well, I do have merch on Teespring, but they don't have patches. So if you're on YouTube, just below the videos, there's a link to the Teespring channel where I've got shirts up for sale and stuff. The big thing is getting it produced, because a lot of them want to not do it on demand. So Teespring is like an on-demand print. So if you order one, they'll print one shirt. With patches, you have to order them in a batch. They won't do the shipping, so you have to go to another shipper to ship them out. So I'd have to buy stock of patches, have a place to store them in America, and then have a place that will ship them out as and when it's needed. So that adds a lot of cost to a patch or anything that's not on Teespring or a Teespring-like site. Yeah, so I mean, with Teespring, there's no storage costs. So the print on demand stuff does make it a bit more expensive. Unfortunately, it's not. I mean, I don't earn a lot of money off of Teespring. Less than 10% for whatever the price is. Right. I think that's easier. Got a nice background. Stuff like that. Move chat over here so that I'm looking vaguely in the same direction as you guys. Although, as you can hear, my voice is not doing terribly well. Definitely pushed it a bit today, which is good. But it means I'm not going to be streaming tonight. I do hope that this stream is interesting enough for you guys, and girls, and ladies, and mental gents, and all of that stuff. So, yeah, that was almost 2 hours to record. I mean, there was also interacting with chat and stuff. Almost 2 hours to record a 10-minute video without editing. That's another bunch of hours. Now you work. Why are you working now? Yeah, I mean, this is the normal strain I put my voice under. Well, less. I normally do 5 times this. So about 60 to 90 minutes of finished recording. If you're wondering why I keep looking over here, I'm busy trying to figure out what's going on with the broadcast software. Oh, good. Can we hear me? Am I coming through? Good evening, Shinzon. Hope you're doing well. I think we're still live. Okay, the video just crashed for some reason. So I've got OBS has crashed, and I've got an error message on my screens, but it seems to be working, so I can't click the error message. But it does seem to have a problem with the broadcast software. But anyway, not much I can do about it. I'll try to figure something out for tomorrow so that we can have scrolling text on it as well. Or maybe I'll just leave that in for the final product as a bonus to watch the final product. I'm not sure. We'll see how this goes. I think I'll keep doing this. If there's enough interest. Always if there's enough interest. Although I might need to change the time to a bit later, because it's quite early for most of the audience. Forgot to take my glasses off. Ah. That was a big one. I normally take my glasses off because it reflects the green. So it messes with the green screening a bit. No, for extended usage, I just normally do the normal warm-up exercises. And then drink lots of water. That's basically it. Somebody asked what I do for, in preparation for long usage streams. Well, streams, just bouts of using the voice for long periods of time. just hydration, warm-up exercises, and then just putting my vocal cords to work. Okay, I think that's going to be me. My voice is definitely starting to not be happy. So thank you all for sticking with me. I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully the microphone will work off the bat. There will be a video tonight at normal time, which is 8 o'clock GMT plus 2. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you all for spending your morning or afternoon with me. It's very much appreciated. Cheers.